here. Today, we are going to discuss the concept of working with Spring Java-based configuration. Observe carefully. And after that, we are going to see that is reading the data from properties file. And then we are going to work with a different runners types concept here. Observe carefully. Spring Java-based configuration that we are going to see. Okay. Remember, Java-based configuration that is actually recommended for predefined classes. It also supports programmer-defined classes. The first important point you remember, mainly used for predefined classes. Predefined classes, but it also supports programmer-defined classes also. Even in bracket any type of class. Okay, so here if you write this configuration here, so if you write this configuration, by taking this configuration, Spring container will create the objects. Okay, by taking Java based configuration, okay, any configuration you write here, either you write XML configuration, Java based configuration, annotation configuration. By taking configuration, Spring container creates object. Okay, I hope you remember the steps of Java based configuration here. Okay, I'm just giving the steps here again one by one. First, you need to write one public class with any name. Okay, first step, write one public class with any name. Okay, something I used to write app config. Step 2, apply @configuration over class. Then only container will detect your class here. Otherwise, it won't treat like it's a configuration. If you don't write @configuration annotation, it treats something like it's a dummy class. It's not a configuration file. It's not a configuration file. Step 3, do you want to tell to Spring container create one object? Then you have to define one method. Okay, number of methods that you define, remember carefully, number of methods that you define, number of objects created. Number of objects created. Finally, step number 4, apply @bin over method. Okay, you need to apply @bin over method here. Okay, observe carefully. There is a point. Okay, now today I am just going to show some practical programming with this. Okay, I'll write the coding here. First, as like normal yesterday's process only we take. Okay, but as of now, I can't give predefined classes. So I'll write programmer defined classes only for practice purpose. Listen carefully. For practice purpose, I'll only give the classes. Just to consider them as a predefined classes. Once you become perfect, I'll show predefined classes. Okay, because you should have some knowledge over that to work with the predefined classes. Okay, you should know something JDBC programming, ORM programming, WebMVC programming, okay, security programming, email programming, scheduling programming. Like predefined means all subjects you should know. Okay, so here as of now I don't want to touch in depth here. So first I just want to give the overview syntactical programming here, how to write the syntax. Now look at carefully, just a syntax. If you look at here how it looks, just I'm writing public class, just I'm writing one example here as an overview public class. Just I'm writing app config like this. It look here. Not only app config, you can write any name @configuration. Okay, step number 2, there I'm writing public something, any class name. Consider employee object. I just want to create employee EOB. Just I'm writing here, and there I'm writing the sample code, something like employee is equals to new employee. Okay, so just I'm writing some return E. You can set the data also. You can set the data also here. On top of this, we have to write @bin. Okay, it looks like a local object creation here, but this object is placed in the container. It's a reusable object. Okay, what is the difference between normal core Java code and Spring Bean code here is, in core Java, if you write same employee is equals to new employee, in core Java, if you write here, remember, that is accessible up to this scope only. Okay, once this brace is completed, this object no longer exists. But in Spring, it's not like that. This object is created in the container. You can access wherever you want by using getbean or auto wiring. Okay, remember that one. So that can be accessible wherever you want. Okay, remember carefully. I'm just showing the core Java difference here. For example, you write void m1 method. Void m1 method. You are writing int a here. Int a is equals to 10. This is called local variable. Even if you write something employee is equals to new employee. Okay, this is local. It's also local variable. You can call it's a local object. Okay, this object cannot be accessed outside of m1 method. Okay, so here not even outside of class also here, that is not, that cannot be accessible here. If you want to do something, again you have to do some parameter return type, like code changes we need to do. Okay, so here if you look at void m2, if I want to access this object, it won't come. We can't access. Its scope is restricted here. But Spring Boot not like this. If you write like this here, you can access wherever you want. Okay, so that is created as a single object and you can access wherever you want. That's the advantage of Spring. Okay, compared to normal core Java style here. Okay, remember that one here. This object is accessible everywhere. An object created in the Spring container can be accessed everywhere in the application, anywhere in the application. An object created in Spring container can be accessed anywhere in application. Okay, either you just write getBean method or using autowire. Either using getBean method, getBean just generally for testing purpose, or autowire. Of course, we pass as a param container object like this, it will be there here. Okay, so here, this is the name of the object. EOB is the name of the object. This is the name of the object. Okay, if you just want to take overview, it's any class name, any config class name. If you just take here, your class name, okay, our class name, generally we take here. This is method name only, but behaves as an object name. Of course, we can change using bean, and here object creation logic, we actually call here object creation logic, set data, return object. Like this, it is going to be here if you look at the syntax. Okay, in last session also I gave here. Okay, Sanket, that concept I'll explain later here. So once we come to layers concept, there is actually, it's called loosely coupling. Coupling means connecting two. Okay, coupling means actually connecting two here. So that concept we are going to see later, loose coupling and tight coupling. Okay, not to worry about that. There is a concept of layer session. Okay, at that time, this structure is not going to come. This structure is not going to come. What exactly you are expecting is different, and this is different. Not to worry, we'll come to that session also even. Now, observe here. Two objects can never be the same. Parthasarathi, two objects, whether you write, okay, two different classes can have different object names. Okay, same object name never exists. Core Java basic rule, remember. Okay, so if you write something here, object name, okay, remember this object name is actually stored in the container, right? Container will never be having duplicate objects. Remember, duplicate names not allowed. Okay, we'll write one duplicate also. I'll show one exception, what it is going to show here. Okay, now let us continue here writing programming. I'm just going to give it. Okay, second example. Now observe here. Now I am writing a spring bean and a spring container here. It's a spring bean. Consider whatever the class I'm just giving, it's a predefined. Again, I'm saying whatever the class I'm just giving, consider predefined class. This is predefined. Just consider like that. Or programmer defined also fine. Whatever you just consider, because it supports both. My target is to explain this process as of now, whether you take predefined or programmer defined. Okay, as of now. Okay, later we are going to work mostly with the predefined classes here. Okay, so here I'm just showing like this. It's a predefined. Okay, observe here. Just I'm writing something like in.init. Okay, just I'm writing here. This actually EMP export. We have something like this EMP export. It's having something like EID. It's a EID. So it's having code, integer, name is a string. Okay, so this time we need actually set get methods also and toString method also. This time two methods, two extra here, set get methods also and toString method also. Previously, if you look at annotation configuration, we did not write with set get methods, but this time it is mandatory, it's required. Okay, so here I'm just writing like this. Observe carefully. So here I wrote one class like this. Whether you consider predefined or programmer defined, anything is okay. But just for understanding purpose, okay, if you feel some things are we have tried mainly for predefined, okay, just consider like that. Actually, I am only writing this one. Okay, I am only writing this one here. Observe carefully here. Okay, if you have any question, you can just type in the chat box, not a issue. If you raise the hand, I can't understand what is that question. Okay, now next one is a Spring container here. There I'm writing Spring container. Now there I just want to create the object. If you want to create one object here, then we have to write @bean. One bean indicates one object. @bean indicates one object here. We have to write, if you want to create one bean here. Now here I'm just writing, it's actually EOB. Something here like this I have. It's a code is equals to, okay, we have something like, this is integer, right? 550. Name is equals to Excel. Like this we have. Consider. Now I have to tell Spring container, please create this object. Now look at, I'm showing first example, concentrate. Okay, what we have to write. Okay, again I'm saying terminology, listen carefully. Bean means object. Bean means object. Configuration means input. Okay, whenever you see a terminology, a word, configuration says it's an input. Bean indicates creating one object. By taking your logic, it is going to create one object actually here. Okay, so just I'm mentioning here configuration, @configuration, you see here, right? @configuration means input to Spring container. I gave in the last sessions even, just I'm revising here. Okay, @bean indicates create one object. If someone joined today's session or yesterday first session, okay, I'll give the links later. Please just go through that. Okay, Madhusudan, you did not attend yesterday's session. Okay, yesterday's session I just explained these are UML diagrams. Okay, yesterday I explained this one, how to write this. Okay, these are UML diagrams actually. These are not ER diagrams. Just I'm saving them. Yeah, Aryan, we can create REST template, even configuration objects. So many are there. Batch processing also I can write it. But this is initial session only. If I start writing REST template, then everyone will ask what is REST template first. Okay, that's why I'm just taking dummy objects. Okay, I can give security code only now itself, but we'll do practice step by step. Okay, now observe here. Like this we have, I am just writing the programming here. Concentrate. Okay, don't worry, all upcoming examples you are only going to write. My target is to show the syntax first of all. Okay, Ishwari, just wait for a second. Let me finish this. I'll come to your question also. Let me finish this example, then I'll come to your question. Okay, so you are comparing two different concepts: annotation configuration and that is Java configuration. Annotation configuration for predefined class. If you write @ component at class level, it will create the object. @ bean, you have to write at method level, then it will create the object. That point is correct. Okay, now look at what is the equal code you have to write. Equal configuration code. Okay, observe here, everyone. Equal configuration code I am writing here. Look at. Okay, step number 1, I am just writing one public class. Any name you write it, generally I take app config, application configuration, short name. You take any name, that's not an issue. When you write @ configuration, understand the meaning of every annotation. What is the meaning of configuration? Okay, configuration says, hey container, please take this as an input. This file is the input for you. This class is the input for you. Okay, what you have to do by taking this input? Inside that, you just check for @bean. One bean, nothing but create one object. Okay, observe carefully. What is the meaning of that annotation here is, this indicates input configuration file. This is actually input. It's a config file. Okay, Spring container takes two inputs. One is actually your class, and second was actually configuration. By taking the configuration, it will create the object. By taking Java based configuration or any configuration, Spring container creates objects. Those objects are reusable. Okay, you can use wherever you want in the application here. Okay, now observe carefully. Next point I'm showing here. Content is asking, how can I create object here? It says one method you write here, then one object created. Look at emp export is there, right? There I'm writing here. It's a public. Now class name emp export. There I'm writing here. It's a EOB. I'm writing like this. On top of this, I'm just writing @bean. @bean. What is the meaning of bean? Okay, remember the terminology. Bean indicates object. Spring bean indicates class. Okay, bean indicates object. This is object. Remember, this is object. Okay, terminology again I'm saying here. That is actually Spring Bean, nothing but a class that follows the rules given by container. Okay, so bean indicates actually here, bean indicates object exist in container. Okay, or object created in container. Okay, so here these are the terminologies, just remember here. Okay, now let us just continue here. Inside this, what we are going to write. Okay, as the name itself indicates here, we are just writing core Java like code here. Concentrate. Now here I'm writing. Observe this one. Now inside this, I am just writing object creation for this one. This is emp export e is equals to new emp export. Like this I'm writing here. E dot. There will be set methods available for every variable. Set code. C capital, it is going to come here. C capital. Set code. Okay, what is the code value? 550. Okay, now I'm writing here e dot set name. Okay, first letter is converting into capital here. In case of set method here, there's something like Excel. Okay, finally return E. Return E. Okay, like this we have to write a core Java equivalent code here. Observe carefully. Remember, there is a lot of difference between using new keyword in Java, core Java, and a new keyword in Spring. By taking this object created in the container here, okay, and this is a reusable object. This is only one way for predefined classes. Okay, so predefined classes here. Yes, Tanuja, already I just gave this. Today I'm showing practical programming here. Yeah, if you want to pass dynamic values, we'll see later properties concept or database concept here. As of now, just I'm giving direct values only. Okay, so here I hope you got this point here. I'm just showing practical output. Just concentrate everyone here. I'm showing the practical programming here. Observe carefully. Okay, now observe. I am just writing this example here. File, new, Spring Starter project I'm just creating. Okay, there I'm writing one example here. Spring Boot to Java config ex1. Look at this. This is Spring to Java config ex1. Java version I'm just taking 14. It's a group ID, package, some details I just entered here. Okay, just click on next button, and finish button. Okay, this project is created here. Audible to everyone? Is my voice clear to everyone? Okay. Now observe here. Now I'm writing this programming here. Now here I'm writing a class. Okay, consider actually we have to write it for predefined class, but as of now I can't show predefined class here. Anurag, if you're unable to see, please rejoin. From your side might be network issues will be there. Okay. If your internet is slow and if you're connecting through mobile, you might be facing problem. Please rejoin. Okay. Okay. Observe here. I'm just writing this code here. So actually we have to work with predefined, but temporarily I'm just taking my own class. Concentrate. I'm just writing a class here. It's a EMP export. There I'm writing here. It's a EMP export. I just wrote a class here. Okay. So here inside this, I'm just creating two variables, code and name. Private integer. Sorry. Private integer. It's a code. Private string name. Like this I have taken. So this time we have to generate set get methods and two string methods here. Observe source. This time setters and getters also I'm generating here. Go to source menu, generate getters and setters. Go to source menu, generate getters and setters, and generate two string, these two. Setters and getters and generate two string. These two we have to generate. Okay, source menu, setters and getters. Okay, just click on select all button and click on generate. See here, you need not write anything manually here. This is generated. Later, this is also not required. I'll take care of Lombok programming. Okay, that Lombok is going to generate the everything here. Okay, as of now, you just follow this source, generate two string, and just click on generate button. Okay, go to source, generate getters and setters. Just click on select all. Just click on generate. Okay, it's a source menu. In the same way, it's a two string. It's a generate two string method you have to choose. Here, don't click anything all here. Just click on generate button. Now, here it's like this. Now I'm writing the configuration file here. Observe carefully. Right click on this new. I'm just writing a class. It's a app config. Just I'm taking the package name as a config. Of course, you can write same package also. Step 1, write one public class. Step 2, @configuration. Okay, step 3, I am just writing one method. Okay, this method is going to say that creating one object here. Okay, public, just I'm writing it's a emp export eob. Just I'm writing like this. Okay, here just I'm writing return statement @bin. Okay, so here I have to create the object for this. I'm just writing, look at this one. emp export is equals to new emp export. E dot set code, I'm just writing 550. E dot set name, I'm just writing here, it's a ABC. Finally returning the E. Observe here. Okay, it's a sample logic, sample code I just wrote here. So here this is done. Now my confirmation is whether this object is created or not successfully. I want to check it. Okay, so I want to read this object and I want to test this. Look at how it is going to be. Open the main method class. Okay, there we have to write application context here. Modify this one. Application context AC is equals to, and read that object AC dot get bin. Okay, only class type also sufficient, but I'm just giving object and class name both. Now look at the class. It's a employee export dot class. Okay, EOB. Just I'm taking here. It's a get bin. Okay, get bin indicates reading the object. Okay, object name is this one and the type is this one. It is going to avoid casting here. It's a E. I'm just writing like this and printing this one. When you print, remember internally toString method is called. Okay, when you print the object, internally toString method is called. Right click on this. Okay, run as a Spring Boot application. Observe carefully, object is created. This object is created. Okay, so I hope you understood this example here, everyone. Okay, later in this place, predefined objects will come. As one student just now said, for example, there is a class like REST template. Okay, there is a predefined class that will be available. Actually, we write those only. This is reading the object name. This is the object name. GetBin method actually takes object name in a string format and class type. Okay, by following the syntax only, we are reading the object. Okay, now, so consider there is actually REST template is a class. Okay, now it's a predefined class. Okay, just look at everyone. Of course, I just don't want to teach what is this here. It's a ORG Spring Framework web client. Look at this, everyone here. It's a predefined class. Okay, So this class, I just want to create the object here. Okay, I just take short name org.sf like that. Okay, so no methods and no variables here, nothing here, no fields, no variables, just creating the object only. Okay, just I want to create the object of REST template so that I can use multiple places. Okay, I'm just giving a small logic this one. Let us see how it is going to be. That program we can't write it now because we need web dependencies and all. We are just learning only basics here still. Okay, are you clear this example, everyone? Any doubts you have? Shall I give one example? Will you write that? Swaroop, it should be public method. Yeah, Neeraj, I'll show that multi-configuration file also. Okay, still we did not come to here. Okay, Nageshwar Rao, auto scanning will be there by taking our package name. Starter class package name is by default set to base package. Good question. Okay, that I am going to show next. In Spring Boot, so many things are reduced, sir. Okay, so that's actually called component scanning. If you see that's in a Spring, that is called component scanning. Here, by default, whatever you write inside that package, that is auto detection will be there. If you write outside of this package, it's not going to be selected. I'll show some common problems concept as the next concept here after this one. Okay, now look at here. I'm just writing one example. Okay, same class or sub package. Sai Prasad, we'll see that. Don't worry. Okay, so at a time, if I teach two concepts here, he will get confused. Let me show one by one. Don't worry, I'll come to all points. Okay, I'm just writing one example. Try to write this one here. I'm just writing here. It's a Spring Bean. I'm just writing. Okay, just I'm writing here. JSON job. It's actually org.sf. That's it. Package name that org.sf. JSON job. Okay, that I'm writing here. Schedule. It's a string. Now here, this is like you have to write only configuration file. Your target is only configuration file. These are having set get methods and toString method. Okay. Now I'm just showing here how this object should look in the container. This is Spring container. Okay. Don't write line by line like that. And everyone, please provide your actual names so that I can identify when you ask a question, who is asking that question. Murshid, please make a reminder. I have already taken that session. I'll give a link also. Okay, again, I'm saying this is Spring Boot session. Few Spring concepts I am explaining what are required for Spring Boot. Okay, so here, this is for your understanding. Before directly going to Spring Boot, so many people might not be having Spring core knowledge. That's why I'm just taking this. Okay, few sessions I have already taken. I'll give that links also. Please make a reminder at the end. Just I'm asking here. It's a OB. It's a JOB. Schedule is equals to, just I'm writing here. Just I'm writing it's actually 9 a.m. Just like this, I'm writing here. Now everyone start writing Spring Java configuration. It's a Spring Java configuration. Start writing, everyone. Okay. Now your target is writing this code only here. Okay, like this. If you want to see this example sample code here, look at this. Look at how I wrote here, this concentrate here. In a similar to this, you have tried second one. Try mistake also fine. I'll give the right answer later. Roshan Hood, write public class. Irfan Ulhaq, after app config, you did not try to open brace. Nageshwar Rao, inside that you wrote schedule S is equals to. That is JSON job J is equals to, you have to write. You have to create object for JSON job. Check it. One line you did mistake. Yeah, Srikanth, if there is no mistake, I won't say anything. If it's a mistake only, I'll point out. Ahmad Khan, you are not required to write class, just only write configuration. Only configuration is sufficient for me. Sunita, you forgot @bean. If it is correct, I won't say anything here. I'm just observing everyone's chart. Manish, you are able to type in the chat box, right? You are saying not able to see. Okay, laptop you are unable to see. I think you might be using company laptop. Sujata, okay. Panindra, modifiers means variable object you can access. Okay, not data. No, you can't modify the data here. That says container says you can't modify the data object you can access. For example, database connection created. Will you change the driver class every time in the program? Database connection driver class is there. You will change every time driver class in program. No, right? So that is a concept actually. Mahesh, please contact to your company admin. I can't do anything. They will be having restrictions for that. Okay, good. Type your answer, everyone. Mistake also fine. Not an issue. Okay, I am writing the code here. Concentrate. If you are unable to write the code, please observe here. Now look at. I'm writing public class app config or any name. We can write multiple also here. App config 2. Like this also we can write here. Multiple configurations we can write. @configuration. Okay. And here I'm writing @bean. It's a public. It's actually JSON job J. Okay. Look at inside that we have to write. That is actually object should be created to JSON job. Some people wrote scheduler actually here. Look at J is equals to new JSON job. Okay, there I'm writing here. It's a J dot. Okay, set scheduler. Set scheduler here. Just I'm writing it's a 9 a.m. It's a string type, right? There I'm writing return statement, return J. It's a close press. Okay, like this I'm just writing here. Observe carefully. This is a concept of just writing a configuration here, a simple configuration. Mostly it's actually predefined class. For example, data source, JDBC template, job configuration, like that, those are going to come here. Okay, just only set scheduler, nothing, only one variable is there. Just only one variable is there. I have just taken the same. Okay. Concentrate here. If you don't know core Java concepts, okay, if you're not good in core Java concepts, if you don't know Spring Core basics, please do not join this batch. Okay, on the starting day one only I said, if someone joined in the middle, again I'm saying, you don't know core Java, are you not good in core Java? If you don't know Spring Core, please don't join. In Spring Core, majority of the people already might have learned and forgot. That's why I'm just doing all refresh. Okay, these are all refreshed concepts. Whatever you see, yesterday concept, today concept, all Spring Core concepts only, sir. Okay, I'm just teaching for them. Okay, just for understanding. Before directly starting Spring Boot, you won't understand anything. That's why I'm teaching. What are required for all Spring Boot? Every Spring Core concept I'll revise. Okay, every Spring Core concept, what are required for now. So this is, we wrote actually a configuration file here. Observe carefully. Now I'll show one small, there's actually common mistakes. What exactly you do here. Now observe carefully here. Now I wrote here, this actually object creation logic we wrote, right? So here package names, I'm just saying as of now, everyone follows same package name. Okay, or it's sub package. Starter class, same package name you have to follow as of now. Later, I'll explain the concept called @component scan. I'll explain the concept of @component scan. Okay, there is an implicit component scanning will be there. There will be implicit component scanning will be there. For example, I'm still here. It's a starter class package name is main class package name you see here. It's a in.nareshit.ragu. Okay, app config also I wrote inside as a sub package. I'm just changing to app.1.test. Just I'm writing like this. Look at carefully. Just I'm changing the package name. Okay, so I'm just running this application. I'm just running this application here. See here it says there is no such bean definition exception. Okay, no bean named EOB. Okay, it says actually object is not there. Okay, object is not present here. Okay, because this is not loaded. This class is not loaded. If you write in a different package, Spring Boot will be having this annotation will do internally auto configuration. That concept I'll show later. That is component scanning will be there. By default, component scanning will be there. If you don't know in Spring, not to worry. However, I'll show here auto component scanning, auto property loading. Okay, and auto detection of the class, auto configuration. Whatever the configuration you wrote it now will become predefined in Spring Boot. Okay, again I'm repeating, whatever we are writing this one, Spring Boot says, hey, don't write this, I'll write it. That is my point I want to tell here. Why I've shown this code is you don't write this code. You just tell me what you want. Hey, Spring Boot, please database object creation. In Spring, you should write manually. In Spring Boot, it is automated. That is called auto configuration. Understanding point, everyone here? Okay, this is configuration. This is configuration. In the demo, I said, what is the advantage of Spring Boot? Do you remember, everyone? That is auto configuration. Auto configuration means Spring Boot is going to write the code. Spring Boot is going to write the code. That's the point I just want to say. Why I'm showing all this is for just knowledge. Remember, we are not going to write this kind of code mostly. We write only annotation configuration mostly. This is for understanding how Spring Boot internally works. Okay, later I'll show such kind of code, also predefined code here. It says, okay, Spring Boot provides auto configuration that reduces, don't write manual configuration. Okay, for example, in the day one demo session I explained, you again watch the demo session video, you'll be getting the clarity. Okay, so JDBC connection, for example, data source is there. Okay, driver data source is there, or driver manage data source example. Okay, so we have to write public class app config. Here we have @configuration. @configuration. Okay, here I'm just writing it's a public data source. Sorry, it's a driver data source. It's a DS. I just write like this. Okay, here @bean. This you are not required to write in Spring Boot. Okay, you are not required to write in Spring Boot. Spring Boot says this is auto configured. Okay, like how much auto configuration will be there, that changes concept to concept. Okay, remember that point. Configuration, why I'm